According to the public research in 2011, a Notre report on terrorism notes 1,923 kidnappings. The most affected countries are Somalia, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India. And according to the French Intelligence Research Center, between 20 and 30,000 kidnapping cases are reported all over the world each year. Welcome to the Daily Trend Francophone edition on New World TV Info English. Before we move on, we have to know first of all what kidnapping is. Kidnapping for me is the fact to grab and detain someone against his will, often by force and usually with the intention to exchange the person with money or a compensation.
Yeah, you're right. That's what kidnapping means. It's actually forcing someone or taking away someone forcefully with violence, and then for a gain, sometimes for a commercial gain or for money, or it's usually for ransom. But people usually confuse kidnapping with abduction.
Exactly.
They actually think that they are synonyms, but they are not synonyms. There's a slight difference between the two. Actually, abduction is done mostly with persuasion. Like, let's say, for example, in a parents and a child case, let's say a parent, they are divorced and the child is staying with the dad, and the mom wants to come for the child. Maybe without permission from the dad, he actually persuades the child, exactly. Oh, come to me, I'll buy you this, I'll do that. And the child also follows the other parents. That means it's an abduction. We can't say it's a kidnapping.
And also, when we talk about, for example, the kidnapping, let's say that, for example, in a criminal law, it is something like unlawful exploitation or apportation of somebody that, for example, can include, for example, gauging the person or stuffing the person in a box. And in general, when you talk today about kidnapping, is just that you shift the person from his original place to another place without the consent of the person. Maybe, but it's not for a good reason. You don't intend positively before, shifting that person from his place to another place, like by force, or like you said, by fraudulent way, or as you said, it
persuasion.
Also exactly. The people most of the time make confusion between kidnapping and abduction. Exactly. And when you talk mostly about the kidnapping, is whereby you use force on somebody. Means that you like a sort of violence on the person. But when you talk about abduction, for example, it's just as you say, like you pass through some fraudulent way, like telling the
it's
person
like
what
sweet
is not
talks,
some story, a sweet story that will make the person first of all believe on what you're saying, and after in reality that's not what you told the person, that is what is true. So this is what we can call by a little bit difference for kidnapping, force, but for abduction, just like a fraud that you are planning on the person before.
And usually we find kidnapping, abduction in kidnapping, but we don't usually find kidnapping in abduction.
Yeah, of course, exactly. Yeah.
You know, we have many types of kidnappings. We have the basic one that we all know, the one to grab and detain someone against his will.
Yeah, we also have the virtual kidnapping. For example, let's say Ruth and I were in the same school, or let's say we work at the same workplace, we are close friends, and someone will just call Ruth and say, oh, I just had an accident.
Exactly.
Sometimes they actually do it with you. Hear the ambulance sound in the background. You will hear the sound of the siren, and then you will be like, okay, it's true. The way the person also be speaking, you think is something that's real. Yeah. The person will say, oh, send money to this number, like it's something urgent. We need it's an urgent business. So you will send the money thinking that something has happened to me, but whereas, let's say I'm on the road coming, there's nothing has happened to me. So that's what we call virtual kidnapping.
Even when you finish sending the money, that we see Ruth that we enter. So this one currently happened. I thought 2 weeks ago. I came back from service, and my junior brother was telling me that he was chatting on WhatsApp, and then he found a number that is +233. That is number from France. Then he entered and started writing to the person, and the person told him that he is Emmanuel Shei Adebayo, our Togo football player. So the person asked him what is he looking for, like that need finance, like that money, so he will be able to help him. And then My junior brother told him that he just completed the school, then he is looking for money to start some kind of training. That he's looking for 400,000. So the man says, since Adebayo cannot ask 400,000 to Adebayo, and Adebayo can't fund it to you. So he said, okay, I will give you the 400,000, but I have one of my fiscalist lawyer in Togo. I'll give you his number, and then you write to him, and then he will do everything. And the man sent the number to my brother, and then my brother also started writing to the person. And finally, the lawyer is asking my brother to send 10,500 before he can withdraw the 400,000 that he is about to give him. And my brother said, how possible that somebody can want to give it, like someone like a sheikh want to give him money
and you have to send 10,000? It's not possible. Before.
So he turned back to the sheikhs, the supposed sheikhs inbox, and then he told me that it's like that. His lawyer is asking him to send him money. Then the person called. That is what surprised me. The person called him on WhatsApp video, and it was really Emmanuel Sheyi Adebayo that was on the screen talking with him. And I said, what's this matter? Then I asked him to give me the number of Emmanuel, the supposed Emmanuel Adebayo, and his lawyer. So I started writing to him also like someone who is in a need.
Yeah.
So the person started sending the same message that he sent to my brother, the same thing to me. And when I asked the lawyer that I need the money, he asked me the same amount, 10,500, and I came back to Adebayo like the same. He called me, and I saw that it was Adebayo himself that was on the screen.
Yes.
Now, can you imagine that? This one is a technique that they are using now. The person is playing a video of Adebayo, and then he just he put his camera on the screen of his laptop, and he is saying something that is not compatible to what I'm seeing on the screen.
Yeah.
Like the person say hello, but what me I see is the person is talking. Hello, the hello stop on my ears, but the
he's still talking.
The person is still talking here. So this one I see that is it's something that is a very pertinent, because if you don't pay attention to what the person gives you, you will easily send the money to the person. And don't forget, if you send 10,500, they will take the 500 to withdraw 10,000. Do you see? So these people are not, I don't know. This one is, as you said, virtual kidnapping. That's what pushed me to remember this one and give this particular example. Yeah.
What you said made me remind something.
Yeah.
I was with one of my friends when he called me. He says, but I am watching with someone on Facebook, and the person's name is Madame Abito. The Madame Abito will call you in Togo.
Our lovely secret.
Yes, and in their discussion, Madame Abito were asking to him what is his job, what is he doing now, and he said he has finished school and he need money to start something, as it was the case of your brother, and Madame Abito was telling him
suppose Madame is not Madame.
Suppose Madame Abito was telling him that he can give him money, but she has to pass by his accountant before she can send him money. And when Madame Abito, they supposed want to send a number, and my friend wrote to the person. And the person was telling him to send an amount before he sent him the money. Yeah. Madame Abito, they suppose Madame Abito they should send him. So
So this one we have to pay attention on most of the time about virtual kidnapping is that when somebody wants to help you with money, and before you gain that money, the person asks you to send something, even if it's 5 francs CFA. You will automatically understand that this one is a big kidnapping.
Yeah.
Once you send the money, they will, block you. Everything.
You won't have access to
them again. So this one you have to pay attention, but you also have to know that we have this matter of for example, when tourists they pay visit to a place whereby people will come around and then they kidnap them.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
And force them to withdraw money from their account. It's actually called express kidnapping.
Okay, express kidnapping. Yeah. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So they actually catch you on the road and then it's immediate. Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll hold a knife to you or a gun to your head and then they'll force you to do
most
that.
Most of the time, watch this one in Nigeria film.
Yeah.
Nigeria both film.
Now that we talk about the types of kidnapping, what really actually caused kidnapping in our society?
I would say, sometimes some people, when you are going somewhere, like let me shortcut it. Like for example, you attend school, you are graduate, you have all your certificate and all degree and all this thing. But you're not working, you don't get a job, but at the same time your parents, they get old. You are the one who maybe you are the firstborn of the family. Now you have to take care of your parents, you have to take care of your junior brothers and sisters, but you're not doing anything. But remember that as someone who is, for example, 25 up to 30, you cannot wake up every day and go to your parents and ask them money. And don't forget, anyone in the society has a friend. So if it happens that, for example, you have a friend, by the time that you don't have money, it is those friends who maybe when you are in the need, you have to go to them. Maybe they cook, you eat. When you're in the need of money, they give it to you, or you want to buy something, they are the one who give it to you. But you know very well that they are kidnappers. They did that, they will say, okay, you are not doing anything, you don't have money. If you want us to still help you, it means that you are going to stay in our group, that we are going to kidnap people and get money, because that is what we do before we get money. What are you going to do?
If you can't participate, I can't help you.
I can't help you. Yeah. But they are the one that can help you. What will you do?
You will be forced to do it.
Papa, that is the
and
point.
that unemployment can lead to money issue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And also, do you know that we have this Nigerian singer? Actually, she sang a song about her friend being kidnapped, and after her friend was kidnapped and was found, the perpetrators for the kidnapping were asked why they did that, and they said it's because of money. They needed money. There's no employment. There's no work to do. So we have to actually create jobs for citizens to be employed. That also can help in the case of.
But you have to notice something, that it's not most of the time that we're going to maybe accuse our responsible government that is not creating a job and all those things there.
We can also create jobs ourselves.
We can create jobs ourselves, but you have to know that there are some people, they are lazy. I call them lazy guys or lazy people.
They don't want to do anything.
They don't want to do anything.
They want the job to come to them directly.
And then they start working. That's okay for them. They don't want to suffer. They don't want to do helping somebody like a bricklayer. They don't want to do carpenter. They don't want to do anything for them. It depends on the kind of education that they took also. It depends on the kind of family that they came from also. Yes. So there are many causes, but I think that if you want to start on it, we cannot finish the causes.
Yeah.
I think that better, there is not a problem without a consequence. And if there is a problem with a cause and a consequence, you better look for
solution.
What can be the solution. So the kidnapping is already there. The consequence and problem also are already there. So which kind of a solution do you think that we can find for it in order to reduce it, even if it's not going to be disappeared?
I think we have to stop routine movements all the time. Let's say, for example, I get out from my house, I go to work. After work, I go and pick my child from school. After that, I go to market. I go and visit a friend. I come home. Every day, that's the routine I take. You can be easily tracked down because the person knows, okay, if she leaves the house, this is where she goes. This is where she goes next. So if I want to catch you on the road and do something to you, I'll be able to do it because I know your routine.
Exactly.
And we have to do sensibilization.
To sensitize people?
Yes, you have to talk to people to tell them the importance of maybe close their doors at night or even during the day. They have to protect themselves.
Yeah.
There are some parents, to show that they are rich. Most of the time when they are going somewhere, they take their children with them. Like youth, for example, who gets married and they have maybe their first son or their first daughter.
Yeah.
They used to take their children in the car while going somewhere. And then maybe they go, for example, in supermarket to buy something, they will let the child in the car.
That's it.
And then they go to buy something.
Yes.
Before you come back, if you don't find your son or your daughter in the car, it means that you caused that one because you don't know who is behind you, who is just running after you.
Even you don't see your daughter, you can. If your daughter in your car, you won't see.
You won't see
both of them.
It disappear. Yes. So it means that even if it's just for 30 seconds that you're going somewhere, once you are going with your son or your daughter, take him with you. Yeah. You don't have to let him there. That one is very, very important.
And also we have to actually law enforcement. Actually, people kidnappers kidnap and then they are left to go freely.
They are free.
They catch you, the police will catch you and then they leave you go. It's not the right way to do things.
Exactly.
If you catch me and you let me go, I'll still continue what I'm doing because it's a very profitable business. So if they catch them, they have to make sure that those who have been kidnapped, they are brought to justice. Otherwise, it can't work. It will continue.
And there is something also I want to remind to all our viewers is that when you are going out, when you are going somewhere, you have to tell at least to the members of your house that you are going somewhere. Because if it happens that you are not coming back, they can say, when he was going out, he told us that he's going to this place.
Yeah. Exactly.
So they can come straight to that place and look for you.
Yes.
Or
So,
maybe you are going to the bank. 30 minutes time, you have to be back. But it's 2 hours, you are not back. Then they will start, worrying for you, like,
exactly
where did he pass?
Exactly.
So they'll try to figure out where you can be.
Okay, I know that you have a lot of things to say, but we pause on that particular case, and then we come back after this short and tackle automatically what is a human traffic shortly. Okay, welcome back from the break. As I said we're going to talk about human trafficking. So, human trafficking, there is not much difference between human trafficking and kidnapping, okay? And as I gave it in the first definition, is just the act of shifting somebody or unlawful act that makes somebody to move from his original place to another place. Yes. But particularly in the human trafficking, the intention is that someone wants to benefit from someone activity. And most of the time, this was not a positive activity, but is the force that somebody will use on somebody to do something that will go for his profit or his benefits.
Yeah.
So that's what we are thinking about.
I think that human trafficking is illegally trading someone for exploitation or economic benefit.
Illegal trading.
Yeah, illegally trading someone.
They trade the person himself. Yes,
trading, yeah. You are selling the person.
Human being. Okay. Yeah, Ruth?
Human trafficking for me is the fact of trade humans for sexual slavery.
Sexual slavery.
Yes.
Okay, this one is a particular. Okay, when we consider this one like, in my viewpoint, we can go back, for example, the term of our, because I'm based on the definition that you gave, you go back to the term of our forefathers, who at the time white people come from Europe and they just bring like a mirror, alcohol,
weapons, and then they give a whole human being to them just for that.
I have never understood that exchange of a thing with a person.
The human.
You will never understand. You know why you will never understand? Even this one, we know based on this one, but let me tell you that they still do the same thing today. Because if, for example, today, they give you a mirror, a traditional mirror, just to take, for example, one of your sister or brother, you will refuse. Yes. Is that okay?
Yes.
But, for example, when they give you, for example, iPhone, and they want to take money from you, you will accept. No, I'm talking about iPhone.
And they want to take money.
Consider iPhone like I don't understand.
It's something extraordinary.
But what are we doing today?
iPhone is a phone.
iPhone is a phone. But you see that the people just take iPhone and do selfie. That one is the traditional mirror. No, modern mirror.
Yes.
So they change it. Okay. So on my viewpoint, I said this one just to say that. As we said, it is just for benefits. You profit on somebody. The person will be doing something that is not lawful work. Something that is by
we
force.
Call it modern slavery, actually.
Exactly. So somebody will be doing something that is not in the law, and secretly the person will be doing this one just to profit or to benefit from the activity that the person is doing. So you see.
Yeah, and also we have many types of human trafficking.
Exactly.
We have forced labor, which is the person is forced to work under any whether it's raining, whether the sun is shining, the person has to work, but the person is not being paid, and the person is not being given food at the right time. And instead of, let's say, working from 7 o'clock to 5 in the evening, the person will start working from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. without pay, without not enough food, and then the person is just there
This made me remember something.
Like what?
In Togo, we talk about agege.
Agege.
Remember?
It's a story.
We take Togolese to go to Nigeria.
Exactly.
To work. And sometimes the ladies, their job is prostitution.
Exactly.
They do prostitution and they bring money for the madam. And after, when the time comes that they return to in our village, they only give them I don't know.
Just a clothes, some kind of clothes, a piece of clothes,
or maybe an amount of money that, let's say, just to clothe them, for you to be able to buy clothes and food or something for a day or something like that.
They just sometimes give them the transport, only the transport that they give them. Do you see?
For men, they only give them motorbike, and they move from Nigeria to Togo on motorbike. When I was little, I saw them. When they come back, everybody come in front of the road, and we look at them coming back from Nigeria. On motorbike.
You know, this one is, but we have to go beyond this one and talk also about the child surgery.
Yeah.
Okay, most of the time this one doesn't happen in Togo. But
it happens in terrorist groups. Actually,
exactly.
They actually recruit young children to come and work in the army. For example, we have Boko Haram, Al Qaeda, those groups like this, and some military groups in the country actually recruit children. And
also this case of sexual kidnapping, whereby some women, I remember at the time when I was in my area, there's some woman came back, for example, from Nigeria, and they'll be talking to mothers in the village, and they say, okay, in Nigeria there is a much work that we provide a lot of money to their children. So if they allow them to take their children from the village to Nigeria, they will become a rich person. And you have to know that before this woman come back from that particular place in Nigeria, because that's the story that I know, they get well dressed, and they take a kind of a car that at that time is called by Volvo, a car that is it was a mark at that time that is Volvo that they most of the time use, and they will just talk to women, and then when they take the children to Nigeria, it's for sexual activities. You see, this one is one of the main cause of this.
Yeah, and I was actually watching a documentary. It was talking about women from Kenya or Portuguese. They actually tell them that they have job opportunities in India. So once having gone to India, they make their passports, their tickets, everything for them. And once they get to India, they are told that they should bring their papers for safekeeping. So if they bring their papers for safekeeping, they take it from them, and then they tell them that what's the money they used in doing the papers for them, they have to pay them back. But actually, those papers that are made for them is even illegal. It's not; they are not legal papers.
That's what.
So they just create an amount just for them to pay, and they know that amount you can't get it within a short time.
Exactly. So that's what I asked. What is now the cause of human trafficking? What can be a particular cause? Like you find that person is a human being, like I am, but then you know the purpose that is behind your own head, and then you say, okay, anyway, I'm going to use him like a source of my incoming, or what is the cause that can push somebody to become a human being traffickers?
We have the search for a better life. People are actually in search for let's say you are in Togo working, you are getting 10,000 in a month. It's not sufficient. Let's say with what your abilities, what you can do, that's the kind of job you can get. And they're offering you a job outside the country that pays more. And so let's say you want a better life, you have a family and children to take care of. So you, with that one thing of a better life, you also accept that job and go outside. But one thing is that we have to verify or know the type of job you are going out there for. Don't just accept and then go that way.
That directly.
And we also have money issues. Money can lead someone.
This one is your problem.
Yes, my problem. Money is a big problem in our society. Finding money is a big problem in our society. So a person who can have easily money, even we propose him to traffic humans, he will do it because he wants to have money to survive.
But I think there are some people who used to do, not only that you'll be accusing people for nothing, but there are some people who have a mental, a problem. When, for example, they see somebody suffer, that gives them a pleasure. I don't know that you in French language people used to call them like a psychopath or something like
Psychopath.
that. Psychopath. Okay, thank you for for the word. Okay, they don't feel like somebody is having a pain or doing something that is paining him. By the time the person is doing that, it's like it's giving them back energy. Okay?
They are happy seeing you.
They are happy. Yeah. So there are some people also, they have this problem. It's a problem. Maybe, as I said in the first segment, that it depends on the kind of family that they are maybe educated. Yeah, there are some children who come from broken family, broken house, whereby since their childhood, the father is not there, the mother is not there, nobody didn't teach them, this is what is good for the society, this is what is not good for the society. Or they are born from a father who is maybe a kidnapper or a father who is a criminal. Maybe there are some children who are born from raping a woman. Mm-hmm. The woman is raped and then the child comes after all. You see that, first of all, when that child was on the womb of her mother, the mother was in a pain for the whole 9 months. And then when the child comes, the mother does not will that child, but he comes. So she will not give to that particular child, a permanent love. Maybe sometimes insulting, because she
abusing the child.
Abusing the child, telling him some words that he will not, will not welcome to the mind of the child. So this one will forcibly push sooner or later that child to become maybe human traffickers or
and it's very sad to also know that all around the world there are 27 million individuals who are being trafficked. And human trafficking is also the second largest and fastest criminal activity. Mm-hmm. And there's money in it. Mm-hmm. We have, let's say, if you traffic someone, mm-hmm. the amount you get, mm-hmm. someone can't even get that money within his month's salary. He can't get that money.
And we also have the case whereby at the end of the year, mm-hmm. we hear that this child has disappeared.
Exactly.
This child has disappeared.
This one is happening every day.
It is for sacrifice
ritual.
Rituals at the end of the year.
Yeah, this one also happens.
They have to pay their debts to their gods.
So what can we do? What can we do? If you ask me, first of all, I will tackle the families. Make each parent take a good care of his son or his daughter. Because if you give a good education to your child, once he grows up, he will remember, Daddy used or my father used to tell me this one, my mother used to tell me this one. Each parent has to give the best education. If you want all this one to disappear in the society, each parent must give a good sacrifice, a good education to his child in order to let him know what is good for the society. That's what
we also have to use social media well.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So some people actually, this TikTok and Instagram post, everything they are doing, even in the morning, they would post that I just woke up, I'm going to bath, I'm going here. Everyday activities are on social media, and that is a great risk.
That's great. So I hope that I would say my last word like this to say that also film that we allow, because mine is only focused on children. Film that parents used to play for their children, they have to pay attention of this kind of film. Kidnapping film, you will let your son watching this film. Maybe women trafficking or stealing, you let your child watching that kind of film. Is not good for the society.
Yeah. And also, I know that it's a lot to take in, but we have to end the program now. It's a lot to take in. But remember that we can help victims become the survivors of tomorrow. This is the Daily Trend Francophone edition, showing every Wednesdays at 12:15 p.m. And you can always catch a repeat on Sundays at 12:15 p.m. See you next week. Bye-bye.